Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time?
Emergency traffic at this time.
And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We're recording now live till 5, and then we'll post it up on YouTube, so you can come by later and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring about 1,300 to 50 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the KC9VKV QSO-VLOG network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio, and today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. We do use a lot of rotary selectors in our shack, mainly because there's nothing faster than a rotary switch for comparing multiple signals. Well, those are our working conditions. How about yours? This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
Yeah, Jim, beautiful. You're about 10:15 over 9 direct from southern Indiana. You sound fine. Beautiful sunny day here at 33 degrees, and the low last night was 20. And we only have just isolated pieces of bits of snow on the grass right now left. We only had about just barely enough to cover the ground yesterday, and that big storm missed us to the south. So I'm copying fine, and how are you doing out that way? Very cold day, though, with the wind out of the north. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, doing pretty good. Just finished off a little rain this morning, but nothing to write home about, just a very brief thing. And I guess the plants need it, you know. So how's everything up that way as far as recordings for this day?
Okay, well, I did work VK3MO this morning on 40, although I only got a very short recording. I think I've got it here. Wait a minute.
Hey, Mike, give me greetings to Alicia. I think you work for 73, and perhaps over to you, Captain Mike Cakes for WCN Company. Victor Kilo 3 Mike Oscar QRT, closing it down. Victor Kilo 3 Mike Oscar Kilo X-ray 4 Whiskey Charlie Wolf. Good evening.
And now KC for Whiskey Charlie. He's the one that goes aeronautical mobile from Philadelphia to Sacramento and return, and he'll be back flying next week. So he was at home. He was at home in Southwest Virginia. So everything is fine up here, and it looks like it's going to get very cold on Monday and Tuesday, then warm up significantly later next week. My gosh, we may go up into the middle 40s, and we're all going to die of heat frustration. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Roger. Charlie was just wondering, is your pilot friend, has he ever talked about how lucky he is to be flying cargo versus passenger situation where a lot of those pilots have been laid off?
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. But you know, the cargo has to go through, and of course, there's not quite as much of a problem with the virus. But we're beginning to increase the virus up here for the first time. We've had very, very little of it in northern New Hampshire, but it's just now starting to eke up here. And if I'm not careful, I'll become horizontally polarized. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger that, sir. I understand exactly what you mean. I too am in that category, so I have to be particularly careful about my outings. Have to reduce the number and the area. But I guess we're going to have to be living with it for quite some time, maybe years, you know.
Oh yeah, that is a problem. Let's hope they get a good vaccine. I understand over in Europe it's really beginning to peak up there very badly over a lot of the countries in Europe, and it's really it's horrendous. It is horrendous, just blazing up or upsetting people's lives all over the place. Okay, I don't have too much here today, Jim. I want to thank you so much for picking up everybody. You do a great service on helping everybody out with their rigs and new rigs, and they get a good idea to see what's going on when you play it back there. So I'll sign with you, and I'll hopefully catch you next week at the same time. Of course, we'll be on standard time, and the skip may be a little bit longer. It may be a little bit longer because it will be an hour later when we're on at our 3:30 time. So I'll say 7-3, and here's your signal. I think.
I guess, you have to be living with it for quite some time, maybe years, you know.
Okay, I had a little trouble with that recording in the beginning. Okay, Jim, I'll fire it down to you, and we'll hopefully catch everybody. We'll catch you next week. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Three's up that way, 73, and you have a really good afternoon, beautiful weekend coming up. And thanks for joining us and keeping us abreast of what's going on up in your neck of the woods. This is the KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio that you want to check out, we record live now till 5. And my name is Jim. This is KC9VKV. Sometimes I'm better known as Dr. VKV. We are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. Now, to access this recording specifically, it's a lot easier to do my call letter YouTube search on KC9VKV followed by today's date, 10/30/20. So to get to this recording, it would be KC9VKV followed by today's date, 10/30/20, and that will take you directly to this recording. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV.
Station HYL, I believe it is.
HYL, I believe it is. That's correct. It's Kilo Charlie 9 Hotel Yankee Lima. Name is Gary. We're located in Southeast Indiana.
Roger, Roger. Well, what part of Southeast Indiana?
What part of Southeast Indiana? Little place. East Indiana. Little place called Mine.
As I was looking around on my local antenna, I share your position somewhat, and I didn't copy you on my local antenna. I'm copying you on Milford, Pennsylvania. Repeat your town, Roger.
Repeat your town, Roger. Milan, M-I-L-A-N, Milan. I think the band's going a little long here, so you may just lose me.
Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, what's the name there? Name is Gary. That's a nickname.
Roger, Gary, and you're in Milan, Illinois? Illinois, is that correct?
Illinois, is that correct? Indiana, same state you're in. We're about 70 miles apart.
Well, that's what I thought you said, but I wasn't sure, and I thought I would be able to copy you a little bit better on my local antenna, but you, it's one of those things, you know, where this is moving by skywave, and so sometimes your actual distance from the other station, you know, does not necessarily mean you're going to copy them better because the signal's moving by skywave as opposed to ground wave, Roger.
As opposed to ground wave, Roger. Yeah, it's unpredictable anymore, it seems like. Bands change every day. Hopefully they'll get better here before long.
Roger, Gary, now what type of radio are you running, sir?
Radio you run, sir. In the summertime and the fall when it's nice, and the spring also, I'm outside more than I'm in, so right now it's a lot cooler. It's been a lot of rain here, and you probably had the same weather we have. Over.
Oh, Roger, I'm sorry. We doubled over a little bit of that, Gary, but I'm just curious what radio you're running.
I got a Tech Jupiter, the original gray case, green screen.
Roger that. How long have you had that radio?
I didn't copy your last statement.
I was just asking you how long you have had that radio.
It came this morning, just today.
Well, I had a premonition that you may not have had that radio too long. I don't know why, but gosh, what's the most interesting thing you found about it already?
Well, this is the third one I've had over the years, and it seemed like whenever I get a good one, I wind up selling it or trading it. Somebody else wants it more so than I do. But anyway, this one got a really quiet receiver on it. I always did like that feature. Over.
Roger that, Gary. Well, I'm looking at your audio on that transmitter, and you're looking pretty good. Just to double check your setup, if you would like, we recommend that our generic setup is your compressor on at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what it needs to do to be able to come up with a 3 dB dynamic range and about an 80 to 85% average peak modulation. So our setup does start with the compressor engaged at about a 3, and then we move on to the ALC after that, Roger.
Okay, the compressor's on, but it's on the 1.
Yeah, I would move that up to a 3. It's not anything that you'll ever hear on the air. 3 is not anything that you'll ever hear on the air. That's part of our setup. It's very, very transparent, Roger.
Okay, I moved it up to 3, and we'll see what happens now.
All right, and then move to your ALC. Go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and by way of using your voice fairly quickly, you want to to get that ALC meter up where you can see what it's going. So sometimes it requires just a little bit faster rate of speech than normal, but we want to use speech as opposed to making strange noises and all that stuff. And we want to adjust that ALC meter for mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Gain manipulation, Roger. Okay, it's just got a light that flickers for the flickering as you speak. It should be fairly close.
Roger, it's looking really good now. You are approaching that 3 dB dynamic range, and so your average percent of peak modulation would be up there about 80 to 85%. Roger? Frequencies in use. This is a Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor QSO-VLOG network. Frequencies in use.
Frequencies in use.
Gary, I think we got it, buddy. That radio is sounding good. What mic are you running on that radio?
What mic are you running on that radio?
No, depends what you are. If you're like,
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Frequency is in use.
Yeah, you said what mic you were using?
What mic you were using? It's the regular Camtech jet microphone, model 708.
Ah, great. Well, it sounds really good, and I appreciate you dropping by, and I wish you luck on your radio contacts coming up, Roger.
Okay, well, I'm going to try it out here and see what happens. Made a couple of calls so far and been fairly pleased with the response, so haven't asked for any audio. Thank you very much for your help today, and we'll see how it works out. You said something about being able to listen to the audio. Is that on YouTube?
Yes, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 10/30/20, that will take you directly to this recording. So you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 10/30/20, and it'll take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Okay, well, thanks very much. And let's see, looks like your name is James or Jim, whichever you prefer. KC9VKV, thank you very much for the help, and we'll see what happens when we get to YouTube. 73 KC98YL. Have fun.
Roger, Gary 3Z Waster. Thanks for dropping by. This is the KC9VKV QSO-VLOG net. We are recording now live till 5. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 6, Echo Charlie India, and 6 ECI.
There's a November Charlie station, I believe.
Yeah, November 6, Echo Charlie India.
November 6, Echo Charlie India. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
Roger, and what's the name there?
Name here is Mike. Name is Mike. We've spoken a couple of times, probably 6 months to a year ago, Jim, getting this thing, I hope, improvements, and I just wanted to get another review from you.
Roger, I just moved over to my local antenna. I've got a copy on you. I'll have to check out between my local antenna and Rochester as far as which one's better. But if you'll give me about 10 or 15 seconds and discuss your antenna system, I'll check that out and be able to listen to your audio, Roger.
Sounds good. Hustler 5-band craft vertical, ground-mounted with 24 radios spread out around it. The radio here is a Heathkit HW101, which I built in 1976. So there are none of the usual accoutrements that you would be adjusting, like,
compressors and EQ and all that stuff inside the radio. There's a gain control of it.
Roger, Mike. Well, you know, sometimes we just have to try our best to hocus pocus our setup. Let me ask you a question. Does it have ACL meter? ALC?
ALC meter, yes, which intermittently seems to work. Sometimes it's going just fine. Sometimes, like now, it's pretty much resting there on 0. But I do have the mic gain set to the recommended level here. As you tune it up, you bring it up to a level where it doesn't increase anymore, and that's where you're supposed to leave it. However, I do have some decent equipment ahead of the radio. I've got a Sennheiser shotgun mic. I've got the DBX 286S mic processor, and I want to just run that through some of its paces here, just to make sure that I've got the amount of compression reasonably good, and there is a low enhanced and a high frequency enhanced for the audio that I can play with there. Not really an EQ, but kind of a bass and treble control. So that's...
Oh, well, gosh, you have external capabilities. Say no mo, say no mo. The thing is, I wish you could get that ALC meter running, because we do want to run that at mid-scale to 2/3. And, you know, if you've got a hammer, you might tap it, see if you can revive it to get it to working. But otherwise, if you would like, what kind of nomenclature do you have on the compression part of your external equipment?
Well, on the DBX here, in compression, there are 2 controls. One is called drive, and one is called density. So I've got the drive up so that it just sends enough signal into the compressor, and I'm assuming density is the amount of processing it does. That is set right in the middle right now, the density. Right now I've got it set all the way down, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now it's set all the way up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, any difference on any of that?
The density didn't seem to make much of a difference, but what do you have? You've got an internal mic gain control, is that a Roger?
On the radio, yeah. Well, yeah. There's when you tune up the 101, what you do is you tune everything up and then just increase the mic gain until it doesn't increase output anymore, and that's where I've had it for basically years. And sometimes the ALC meter says we're talking, sometimes it says it doesn't. I can certainly increase the amount of drive coming out of this compressor into the radio if you want to try that.
Gosh, you know, the ALC is actually the heart of the radio. What I would suggest is maybe we try a little bit more compression in the front, because I still see you're fairly loose as far as dynamic range. You're probably about 7 dB, 6 dB dynamic range, and we really want that to be about 3 dB. So we need a little more fattening going on, and usually we use that, divide that between the compressor and the the ALC level, and normally we would run that ALC level at mid-scale to 2/3. So why don't we do this? Why don't we, do you have an input level control for your compressor?
Absolutely. So let me crank up the, that basically would be the drive. Let's crank that up from the 9 o'clock position to the 12 o'clock position, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, we're starting to stonewall on the limiter. I think it's the limiter. Now, you've got an output control of that compressor?
Yeah, but that's all the way down. I mean, it doesn't turn down to 0. It just turns it down to your choice of line level out or mic level out, and I've got it all the way down at the moment. Want me to lower the drive a little bit on the input?
No, I was thinking of going the other way. I want to find out where your actual ALC level is. Without a meter, I can tell, when it starts to really stonewall. So bring the output of the compressor up slowly and tell me as you go where it is, Roger.
You go where it is, Roger. All right, will do. So right now we're at about as low as it would go, which is about the 7 o'clock position. Here's the 10 o'clock position. 1, 2, 3, too high, but there it is anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, too much. And my right at that moment, my SDR, Milford SDR, dumped me. Right at that very moment. It takes I don't know, bad luck or whatever it is. Come on, Milford, get your stuff together there and come back where you were. Okay, I got it back. Take that back where it was.
Okay, have done that. Let me mess with the mic level control on the radio here. I've got it set at about 1 o'clock, 1:30, which is where pretty much it's always been. But if I bring that up to about 4 o'clock, see if that made any difference. Or if I bring that down to about 10 o'clock, we'll see if that made any difference.
Go back to where you were. I'm still fighting this Milford SDR. I think I've about got it now. Go back to where we were just moments ago before we started our latest soiree into tuning, Roger.
Into tuning, Roger. Roger, okay. So there we are. According to the processor, what am I doing? About 6 to 9 dB of compression, so they claim. And no matter where I put the mic level on the radio, there's no indication on ALC at all. So I'm not sure if that's got to be an issue inside the radio. I'll have to look at one of these times. But if this is serviceable, then we'll just go with this for a while. Retune your transmitter.
It's looking pretty good. The thing is, it does occasionally have a 3 dB punch through, whereas what the limiter ahead of the ALC would usually take care of that, which indicates to me that you might be slightly below recommended level going to your ALC. So if you could very judiciously bring your level up maybe through your mic gain. You say you're about at 1 o'clock. If you went to about 3 o'clock, and we could listen to that.
All right, well, let's do that. So here's the 1 o'clock-ish, and here is 3 o'clock, and here's all the way up.
Yeah, it was back probably better where you were, back to that 1 o'clock position. I think you're pretty good there for, all things considered on the age of that radio, Roger.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. If it sounds competitive, at least to most of the stations that you'll hear, I see on the watt meter we're peaking about 60 or 50 to 60 watts on average here when I'm talking, so I don't know we're going to get a whole lot better than that.
Roger, now you say you have some external EQ that you might want to check out?
Yeah, there's on this unit here is basically a low-level boost and a high-level boost that let me turn them all. I've got both of them down as low as they'll go right now. So there's a starting point, okay?
Alrighty.
And I'm going to bring the bottom end up about halfway. So the bottom end is up about halfway now. Did that do anything noticeable?
Well, it helps you out as far as the width of your band, as far as I'm looking at it on the frequency meter and the analyzer, and you were kind of shy on the bottom end, so that helped out, Roger.
Okay, very good. Just for grins, we'll bring it up from 12 o'clock to the 3 o'clock position and see if maybe that's too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead.
Give me that again in the terms of telling me about your radio, about 10 or 15 seconds.
About 10 or 15 seconds.
Certainly. Okay, so beautiful Heathkit HW101. Heathkit HW.
The mic here is a Sennheiser shotgun, and then the DBX 286S is the outboard processor. Right,
outboard processor. Right now, the base low-end enhancement is at about the 3 o'clock position, and I'm going to put it back to where you said it had made a little bit of an improvement here at the 12 o'clock position. So is there any real difference between the two?
You went from you're talking about the output level control, 1 o'clock, Roger?
Control, 1 o'clock, Roger?
No. This is the low frequency enhancer on the processor.
When you went to the low frequency processor, it did sound better as far as your audio curve as I look at it on the spectrum analyzer, Roger.
Okay. Well, I've got it set right now where you said, yeah, that brought it up a little. I was going to bring it up even more, like right now. I've just turned it up from the 12 o'clock position to the 3 o'clock position to see if we've gone too much.
Well, I'm starting to hear a little interaction with your compressor. You know, as you change your EQs, the compressor is going to be set in a different position. I'm not sure how your outboard equipment is wired, and whether the compressor is at the end of the EQ chain or at the beginning of the EQ chain, Roger.
The beginning of the EQ chain, Roger.
Yeah, the compressor is ahead of the EQ. Let me just bring that back to the 12 o'clock where it was. And there is also, of course, a high frequency adjustment here, and right now I've got it set at about mid-scale 12 o'clock. So curious if that helped the intelligibility or just added a bunch of high-end splatter.
I think we're onto something here. I just got over to my local antenna, which is very flat, much flatter than the SDRs. So, and it's looking good. Just give me another 10 or 15 seconds on the. Tell me something I don't know.
The moon is 225,000 miles away, I think. And I just bought me an SDR myself earlier this week, and having great fun with that. So that is interesting, and in fact, I'm watching myself on that, but it looks like the sun is so bright when you're looking at your own signal. But, okay, so right now, both the bottom end and the top end enhancing for the audio control are at mid-scale.
Okay, might be just a little too much top end. Is there a way that you could do about half of that top end push? Just about half of where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go down to about half of that. Here's the 9 o'clock position on the top end.
Roger, I was just hearing a little bit of rip on the top end at that location. So this one is just perfect, very clean. Roger?
Good. That's what we're looking for. Loud, clean, something that won't be too obtrusive.
Loud, something that won't be too obtrusive, but will cut through like 100 watts is supposed to.
Exactly. Now, I think you indicated you weren't doing exactly 100 watts now.
Doing exactly 100 watts now.
Yeah. The radio is 100 watt out, and as I look at the cheap old watt meter here, just looking at the average, I'm hitting about 50 to 60 watts out on average peaks.
Yeah, is that watt meter have a PEP position?
PEP position?
No, it has a 100 watt position and a 1,000 watt position, and that's it.
Right, but I'm talking about PEP versus RMS. RMS would show about 50 watts as opposed to PEP, which is a much faster movement of the meter.
Much faster movement of the meter.
Yeah, no, this is just your plain old RMS meter. Very cheap. All right, well, there's not much else we can mess with here, so I think other than,
increase the level of what's coming out of the processor, and I think we've already established that we don't want to do that much more because that started to distort. So I guess we will sit tight and give this a run for a while. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Mike. Get the Gorilla Tape out and tape everything down. You have got it aligned just perfectly, Roger.
Roger. One final question, N6ECI. I had reports of about 120 hertz hum a couple of days ago, and actually I have I have an impedance matching transformer between this compression unit and the radio, and replaced that with a much bigger, better one. This thing is about 2 or 3 pounds in weight, full of iron, and I think that reduced the hum. So do you hear anything like that?
No, it's crystal clear, no problem. And I've gone through the SDRs and my local antenna, and my local antenna receiver would indicate that it's fairly flat down to 100 cycles. So if there were anything abnormal going on, I would be hearing it. Roger?
Roger. Well, that's good. Well, appreciate that, because I had several people saying, "Hey, there's a hum. It's not real bad, but it's noticeable." And so I ended up just replacing. I had this very cheap little impedance matching transformer about the size of a quarter, and actually fit inside the XLR connector. And I found in the junk box this old one here that you could use as a blunt weapon for if you wanted to kill somebody with, and decided to try that, and it seems to have solved that problem immensely. So I'll let you run on and get to somebody else. I've taken way too much of your time here, but I will look forward to giving this a listen on YouTube, and appreciate all your help, Jim.
Roger, Mike. I would say draw an outline of the way that transformer is sitting where it's sitting, so you can keep it exactly there, because sometimes transformers, particularly input mic transformers, tend to be subject to prevailing electromagnetic fields, and so you are at the moment are clean of that, and you want to be sure that you keep that transformer oriented just like it is. Roger?
All right, good tip. Well, we'll do that, and we'll check in again in a few weeks or so and see if everything's still copacetic. So again, appreciate all your help. You're sounding great. 20 dB over 9 here in Lake Wiley, South Carolina. So till next time, 73 and 60 CI.
Roger, Mike, 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. In between time, if you want to hear your radio and our setup, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 10/30/20, that will take you to our QSO, this recording actually, and so you can hear everything we did. So 3 for now, and 73 for now, and we'll catch you later, sir.
Very good. 73 and 60 CI.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Foxtrot Louisville.
Hey, a Foxtrot station in Louisville. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please. There's a Foxtrot station in Louisville. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please. That must have been my erroneous ears. I thought we had a Foxtrot station over in Louisville. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio that you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo Bravo.
There's a Kilo Echo Bravo station. Sir, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically again, please.
Yes, this is Whiskey 5 Kilo Echo Bravo, Jeremy in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Yes, sir. What was the name again?
Jeremy.
Roger, Jeremy. Let me. And you're in Arkansas, is that a Roger?
That's Roger, Jonesboro, Arkansas, up in the northeast corner of the state, QSO.
Roger, sir. And what radio are you running?
I'm running a KC9VKV Kenwood.
And how long have you had that radio?
I've had it about a couple of months now. I'm a 30 years old. I've had my general upgrade just a few weeks there, QSO.
You say you became a general just a few weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to HF, sir.
Well, thank you. I've really been HF. Thank you. I've really been enjoying this here and met a lot of nice people so far. I'm just running right now. I had a guy give me T5R3. I've got it good and got it up and get me on the air there.
Roger, looking at your audio, it sounds fairly full. Could use a little more articulation on the top end to bring up the enunciation, sir. If you know where your equalizer is, we might take a look at that.
Contact.
Okay, well, I don't think I got an equalizer on this radio. I can change the filter, I think, on my transmit and try to see what that means for us right there.
Okay, Jeremy, stand by just a moment. We have a contact station. Go ahead. Contact station. Go ahead. No contact with the contact station. Jeremy, let's see. You did boost you increased your bandpass. Is that a Roger?
Yes, I was trying to see what that might have done for it. I'm not.
Roger, you're fading out just a little bit, sir. I've gone to Milford SDR to try to copy you. Go back and let me see where your level is right now.
Your level is right now.
Yeah, Jeremy, I've pretty much lost you, sir. You were sounding good where you were. I thought we might be able to get just a little more top-end EQ out of you. That radio, what you want to do, we have found 100 to 2900 to be the best bandpass that you could run your radios. So just double-check to be sure you're in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, Roger.
Roger on that, the 100 to 2900.
You say you are on that?
No, sir. I don't know how to access that. I'll have to do some research in the owner's manual.
Oh, roger that. Well, when you can, sir. Just, at your leisure, you do need a little more top-end EQ. So make a note to increase that. Maybe 3 clicks on the top end. I don't know what kind of EQ you might have, but if it's a 3-band, just 3 clicks on the top end should help a bunch. Roger?
Roger. I appreciate the info, and I'll turn it back to you. Been good talking to you there, KC9VKV from W5KEB 73.
Yes, sir, Jeremy. 3's to you, sir, and thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance and you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 10/30/20, that will take you directly to this recording. So we'll say 73 for now. You have a good afternoon, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday Afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 8, Mike Juliet Lima.
Kilo Echo 8 station. Come back slowly with your call sign again.
Kilo Echo 8, Mexico, Japan, Lima.
Roger, Mexico, Japan, Lima, and what's the name there?
The name here is Joel, Juliet, Oscar, Echo, Lima, and we're in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia.
Roger, Joel, and what radio are you running, sir?
I have an ST900 Yaesu unit. It's older model. Go ahead.
Boy, it's our day for older radios. Let me ask you a question. Does it have an ALC meter?
Let's see here. That's a good question. Let me go through real quick here. Yes, it does have an ALC meter. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll be using that. Let me ask you another question. Does it have a compressor or processor?
I don't believe so. I think all I got on transmit is going to be the mic gain, and then I have two switch positions on the mic, on the hand mic itself.
All right, audio-wise, curve-wise, EQ-wise, you're kind of mid-rangey. So you have another setting on your microphone. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger, and I'll switch that now.
All right.
Okay, this is the other setting on the microphone. Go ahead.
Okay, that's just a little fuller. It's a little more bottom end than the other position. Roger?
Okay, Roger. That sounds good. Thanks. How about the mic gain?
All right, go to your ALC meter, and let's set that mic gain. With your mic gain in hand, bring up your ALC meter, and you want to adjust that ALC meter for mid-scale to 2/3. As you speak rather rapidly to try to keep that meter up where you can adjust it, you're kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rate like that to keep the meter up because it's a lot easier to adjust it when you can see what it's doing, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Looking for mid-scale on the ALC. Mid-scale on the ALC, and I'm adjusting the mic gain, and not seeing too much difference right now. Start to go lower, I guess. So mid-scale is significantly lower than I had it. Actually, I'm not seeing too much difference in the ALC with the mic gain. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger. Joel, it did sound a little hot after you cranked in a little more bottom end. It did sound a little hot, so I think maybe if you cranked her back a little bit. But again, your ALC meter is functioning correctly, Roger, that you know of?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's showing level when I'm talking here, and let me cut it all the way. There we go. I don't know how it sounds. This is a little lower than mid-range, and it's still pretty high. It's not till I get way down here that it's really starting to have much of an effect on the meter. Back to you.
Yeah, do you have any external equipment plugged in, just your microphone?
Just the microphone. It's just the microphone, the handheld that came with it, right into it. I do have an MD100 sitting here on the bench, which is a different mic that I could try.
Might want to try that. I'm catching some distortion that probably shouldn't be there. Let's just, if you would be interested, we'll try a little experiment with the other microphone, Roger.
Roger, this is the MD100. Go ahead.
Is that the second mic?
Yes, this is the other mic, the desk mic. Go ahead.
All right. So now bring up your mic gain until your ALC is running let's just say mid-scale for right now. Bring your mic gain up as you speak rather rapidly, and bring it to the 50% point on your ALC.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic gain up high, mic gain coming back low. That's a little less than 3/4 right there. Heading for half. That's about half on the mic gain. Go ahead.
Roger, I'm still hearing distortion at the mid-level on the ALC meter, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but that distortion doesn't necessarily sound like it's peak related. Perhaps there's, I'm not sure, something in the front end. What is, just out of curiosity, you just have your microphone going into your radio, and where is your mic gain?
Well, right right now the mic gain, and I'm going to back off the mic a little bit. Maybe that was my problem, and I'll turn this ringing phone off. So I'm backing off the mic a little bit. Maybe I was too up on the mic. Go ahead.
Well, you shouldn't be. If there's nothing in front of, if you're just running the mic directly into the radio, you should be almost able to run that mic at any level, since the probability of distortion, but that's why I was asking about your input level. Can you see your mic gain control, interior mic gain control on the radio, and tell me what it is?
Yeah, the mic gain control is a knob, and it is at mid-scale right now.
Yes, that's exactly where it should be. As opposed to, see, if you were down around 1, then you might suspect that somehow the microphone is putting out a bunch and overloading the front end of the mic preamp in the radio. But since you're at noontime, that sounds about right. So there might be something else going on, but it's not severe, if you know what I mean. It's there, but it's not severe. Roger?
Okay, roger. And it wouldn't have anything to do with the RF power, right?
I don't think so. I mean, does it? I'll tell you what, key your radio and dead key and see if you have any blow-by there. If your watt meter moves at all or your output meter moves at all with mic keyed without any audio.
No, I'm not seeing anything on the power meter with the open key.
Oh, roger that. You could use maybe just a little bit more on the bottom end of your audio. If let's see, do you have a equalizer in your radio?
No, there's no. I'll double check the manual down the road, but as far as I know, no, this doesn't have any equalizer on it. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, I'd call it close enough, sir. I think we've done probably about as much as we can do at one time, Roger.
Okay, Roger. I appreciate the help there, and you've given me some things to look at. Go ahead.
Roger. Ideal setting normally for radio is mid-scale to 2/3. Now, if the radio might be in trouble, and that might be distorting at that level, you might have to drop it down. But right now, I think it's a livable situation. The audio sounds pretty good, Roger.
Okay, Roger. And just curious, was there any noticeable difference between the two microphones? Go ahead.
I didn't notice any, but if you want to switch back to the other one. Now, the thing is, and you should keep this in mind, anytime that you switch mics, you should always go back to your ALC and double check that your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, because not all microphones are created equal. And so when you switch from one mic to the other, you need to always go back to the ALC to be sure your audio setup is still mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, Roger, copy that. This is the back to the hand mic here. I don't know if you're noticing any difference there.
Yes, it sounds like it's a lot more upper mids than the other mic. The other mic has more bottom end to it, Roger.
Okay, Roger.
So shift back to that mic and let me hear you.
Okay, I'm going to shift the mic one more time. Go ahead.
Starting to fade out just a little bit.
Back on the same mic here. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's got more bottom end. I think that's more easier on the ears than the other. The other was more like 2-meter communications kind of a sound, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, thanks. Well, I appreciate it much.
Roger, Joel, 3-set way, sir, sounding good from West Virginia. If you want to hear your audio, you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 10/30/20. That will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger. I appreciate your time. Thanks much. 7-3. And your KC9VKV. This is Kilo Echo 8, Mike Juliet Lima.
Roger, Joel. You've got it all correct. 73, sir. You have a good afternoon. If you get a chance to join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net for Friday afternoon. We are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
WI for USA.
Was there something USA?
WI for USA.
USA station, you are severely distorted. We need to look into that, Roger.
Well, yeah. This is Whiskey Sierra Alpha.
USA station, come back again slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey India for Uniform Sierra Alpha.
Roger, Roger, USA. What's the name there?
The handle here is Tom, Tango, Oscar, Mike.
Okay, Tom, I'm trying to find you. Why don't you give me about 10 to 15 seconds on your antenna system. Let me see if I can find a better pass for us.
This is WI4 USA, transmitting from Atlanta, Georgia. You got a better copy on me?
I do. Did you switch on a power amp?
Roger, Roger. I have a IC2W1, and it seems to kick out if I've had the tuner on or anything like that. It's kind of strange.
Okay, you are very distorted. Be aware that you are very distorted. Now let's see if we can work it out. Do you have another microphone that you might try on that radio so we could eliminate the microphone as causing the problem?
I don't right this second. I'm actually using a BOSE USB Bluetooth headset right this second. I will have to find my other microphone, and it's not readily available.
Okay, you're about 80% distorted. You are very distorted, and I was hoping that we might be able to try another microphone. What I would do now then maybe is try your mic gain and pull your mic gain down about to half of what it is now, and let's see what happens there.
All right, right here I've turned my microphone gain down about half and turned off the processor.
Okay, what radio is that you're running, sir?
This is a Flex 6500.
Flex 6500. Roger. Well, we do have some, it does have some problems, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. You were a little bit cleaner when you dropped your level. Do you have a ALC reading on that device?
Roger. I'm about 2 to 3/4 range right now.
This is the frequencies in use. This is the KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. Frequency is in use. Now, Tom, where were we, sir? You have an ALC meter, Roger?
Roger. The ALC is about
Yeah, pretty much faded out there, Tom. I don't have a copy on you. If you come back, we'll see if you're back together again. Let me bring up Rochester and see if we can do a little bit better there. Right now, I'm copying you on Milford, PA, Roger.
On Milford, PA, Roger.
Yeah, sounds still a little distorted there, Tom.
Audio. What do?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, sir. It just is distorted. Does it seem to be, the output seem to be correct? Yeah, I don't copy you at all now, Tom. Yeah, Tom, I think you faded out, good buddy. Maybe later on, if my signal to you improves, you might give me another shout. But last we heard, you were very distorted. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's a Whiskey 9 station. Whiskey 9 station, come back with your call sign slowly phonetically.
Your call sign slowly phonetically.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. What's the name there?
Foxtrot. What's the name there?
This is Bob. I'm in Central Illinois.
Bob in Illinois. All right, Bob, what radio are you running, sir?
All right, Bob, what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running with TS-480 Hotel X-ray.
TS-40 X-ray, is that a roger?
TS-40 X-ray, is that a roger?
Yeah, Bob, TS-40 X-ray, is that a roger?
40 X-ray, is that a roger?
480 X-ray, roger.
480 X-ray, roger.
Hotel X-ray. We'll get this thing right yet, Bob. And you're in Illinois, roger. What town?
Illinois, roger. What town?
Oakdale. Yeah, I think you said Oakdale. And gosh, I wish I had a better copy on you, sir. You're right now probably about 2 dB above the Milford noise level. So, and I'm not receiving you at all on my local antenna. So, I tell you what, if you would give me about 10 to 15 seconds on your local antenna, on describing your antenna, and I'll see if I can find a better path for us.
Okay, that's fine. A New Kenwood TS-480 Hotel X-ray, 200 watt radio into a Denton Super Tuner antenna tuner, going out to a 140 foot extended double ZEP antenna up at about 35, maybe 40 feet. I don't think it's dropped quite yet with the dropping leaves. But we're getting decent output today, and I'll be curious to see how you're picking me up. This is Whiskey 9, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Right at the moment, I'm picking you up on my local antenna, and you sound like you might be overdriving your AOC just a little bit. So we do have a generic setup procedure, which starts with your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, but it's necessary for us to arrive at a 3 dB dynamic range and 80 to 85% average peak modulation at the end of our tune-up. So it would start with your compressor being inline at a 3. Roger.
Roger. Is that approved at any?
If it's a 3, we could go on with the setup, assuming you have your compressor on at a 3. Now we move to our ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC to where it reads mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak into your microphone, but at a fairly quick rate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you might keep the meter up, and it's a lot easier to adjust that way.
Roger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we're now running mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC. Is that a Roger? Gosh. Bob, I think you've faded out, or I faded out, or something. Come back and let me hear you.
QSO, hopefully this has improved it just a little bit.
Yeah. Are you running a power, sir?
Just the power on the radio, 200 watts.
Roger that, roger that. Okay, so now give me about 10 or 15 seconds on your antenna, or on your radio. What thing you like best about your radio? About 10 seconds or so I can hear your audio.
Very good. Well, it's a nice little radio because higher output than the others that I've had over the years. The 200 watts would make a little bit of a difference and hopefully make it a little bit better for DX. QSO?
Roger that, sir. Well, we might need a little more top end, so do you know what your equalization is?
I will find it just momentarily.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
They do it to all the nets on 40.
Yeah, I know. They should stay on 7200.
It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame that they're doing stuff like that. You must be smoking too much crack in the basement.
Gentleman's trying to perform something. They got this. This is ridiculous.
You know, if the Federal Communications Commission would get off their duff and patrol their own frequencies, it would be of outstanding value.
That's terrible.
So, Bob, how we doing there, sir? Well, I think I found a little something here in my processor. Does it sound any better or different to you, sir?
About the same, sir. Let me just double-check one thing. We want to be sure that your bandpass is set at 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900 on your bandpass, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Let me put that real quick.
Yeah, when you run less than 100 to 2900, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Because the first thing to go in a lesser mode is the top end of your audio. So make sure your radio is running 100 to 2900.
Okay, well, the only problem there is that I've got a naturally very deep voice, and I've got a microphone to compensate for that, a Heil PR30 microphone. QSO?
Yeah, we'll take care of all that, but the main thing is we've got to get your radio in the 100 to 2900 mode.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up and figure it out, and I don't want to keep you any longer than necessary, but I appreciate the fact that I am getting out there and somebody's hearing me at least.
Roger that, roger that. Well, I can give you some notes you might consider as you find things. First thing is I'll go through the setup procedure so you can do it when you find everything, and it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3, then move to your EQ, and at the rate you are at the moment, you're going to need about plus 3 dB additional top-end EQ from wherever you are at the moment, EQ-wise. Roger?
Roger, compressor at 3, ALC mid 2/3, and EQ at 6 dB top end.
Well, 3 dB hotter than where you are.
Got it. 3 dB hotter than what I am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And you have a great afternoon. If you want to hear where we are at the moment on this recording, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 10/30/20. That will take you to our this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded to YouTube. Roger.
Roger that. Thank you very much. That way I'll be able to hear myself. You guys have a very great day. Very 73 with Whiskey 9 Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Yes, sir. Bob, and additional knowledge, we have a spectrum analyzer on the set, and you'll be able to see the spectrum analyzer as you talk, and you'll see the deficiencies in your audio bandpass or your audio EQ curve as you look when you speak at our spectrum analyzer. Roger.
Roger that. That's great service. Thank you very much, sir. Very 73.
Roger, Bob. 3 set way, sir. 73 that way, sir. And be sure and try to join us next Friday if you can. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. We are recording now live till 5. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. It's about 7 stations. Loudest one, take it.
November 0 Delta Zulu, Quebec.
Station ending in Quebec. Try the call sign again, slowly, phonetically, please.
November 0 Delta Zulu, Quebec.
One more time, please. You're about half a dB above my noise.
Yeah, we'll call it a day if I'm not Delta Zulu, Quebec.
Roger, what's the name there?
John, Juliet Oscar, Hotel November.
John, and what radio are you running, sir?
7300.
7300, all right. And whereabouts are you located, John?
Wyoming, Minnesota. Wyoming is in the state of Minnesota, just north of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area.
A copy of Minnesota, is that a Roger? Okay, I wish I had a little bit better copy on you, but we can try this. If you'll give me about 10 or 15 seconds on your antenna system, I'll try to find a better bandpass for us, a better audio signal, Roger.
Roger.
Roger, John. Well, you're kind of in and out, sir. I've wound up on Milford PASDR, and you're kind of fading in and out, so I don't know if we'll be able to do this or not. Need just a little bit more signal. What type antenna did you say you're running? Yeah, John, I don't have enough signal to grab on. So let me say 3s for now. If my signal to you improves in the next 15 minutes or so, try and give me a shout back. But right now, you're just too low to be able to work. So 3 is 73, and have a good afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
WI4 USA.
USA station, go ahead.
Roger. This is WI4 USA. I found my other mic, and I thought I would give you a shout to see if it was doing any better.
Oh, yes, sir. It is doing better. A bunch. Now, you've got an ALC meter, Roger?
I do, in fact, have an ALC meter, and it's set about half to 2/3 right this second.
Okay, looking good. Now, what we want to do is make sure that you engage your compressor at about a 3. We need to temper that modulation just a little bit. So a 3 is something you'll never hear, but it sets up the audio just perfectly for what we're doing. Roger?
Roger. I'm not actually seeing any compression on my signal right this second, so I'm not sure where I go from here.
Okay, where's your mic gain? What level is your mic?
I'm at about 40%.
Okay, take it up to 60%. Look at your compressor meter as you are up at that level and see if you're getting any compression indication.
Okay, I'm at 50% right now on the mic gain, and I'm getting about 25% compression.
Roger, looking pretty good there, actually, at that point. What's your ALC?
ALC hasn't really changed. I'm between 1/2 and 2/3.
Okay, sounding good. Now, you do need a windscreen, a foam windscreen for your microphone, so you don't have a lot of lip noise and stuff, plosives and stuff. So I think they're like $4 at your local music store, and just to make a world of difference in your audio, Roger.
Will do. I was microphone. Any better?
I'm sorry, you dropped out on part of that. Try it again.
I said I was pretty close to the microphone. Is this any better?
No, it's not. I think where you were is better, but because you did have a nice full round signal by the proximity to mic that you were, so I would recommend running it that way. But you just need a windscreen at some point to prevent any problems. Were you about 2 inches or 3 inches away?
Yeah, that's about where I am right this moment. I'm about 2 inches away from the PR40.
Roger, that's exactly where I would run that microphone. Your EQ curve is very nice. Just at your convenience, I would get a foam windscreen for that microphone. I think that it has a built-in windscreen, but you really need an external one, because what happens is the wind plosives move towards that microphone and get caught up in the grill work and all that stuff, and an external foam windscreen that fits over the whole microphone solves all of that problem. Roger?
Roger. So you're talking about one of those flat ones that are kind of round versus a foam sock that fits on top, right?
No, I'm talking about a foam sock that fits on top. That's what you want. I said a foam windscreen that just fits right over your microphone and solves all of the problems. Roger?
Roger. I'll look at seeing what I can find for that. Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully this has made a difference going back to my old mic. I was on I had just moved stations, and I had not gotten out the microphones yet. I just thought I would try it with the headset, and wasn't getting very good results.
Yes, that's excellent. I would get the Gorilla Tape and taper down, sir.
Will do. All right. Thank you. Appreciate what you're doing. 73.
Okay, one more time, John, with you. That's, let's see, WI4 USA. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, the call is Whiskey India 4, Uniform Sierra Alpha.
Yes, sir. I've got you about 3 notches above where we are. You're coming back in after changing mics. Well, you did a great job there as far as isolating your problem. Roger?
Roger. I appreciate it. I'll let you go and help somebody else out. Appreciate it. You have a good evening.
Roger. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. If you have a radio that you want to check out, we'll be recording now live till 5, so we are listening. Romeo India Mike, station, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Okay, November, this is Whiskey Bravo number 8, Romeo India Mike, in Bloomingdale, Ohio, and the handle is Lee, Lima Echo Echo.
Roger, Lee, I've got you there. And what radio are you running, Lee?
I'm running the 10-Tech Eagle and a Shure 444D.
Roger, sounds good. Give me about 10 seconds to 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system so I can look at your audio.
Okay, I have 3 antennas. I have an end-fed half-wave, which I'm using right now. It's in a inverted L configuration. I also have a double extended ZEP for 40 meters, and I have a off-center fed dipole from NI4L.
And right now you're on the NI4L. I'm hearing you best on it. Over.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you probably about 15 over on the Milford SDR. Come back and let me hear you on my local antenna, Roger.
Hear you on my local antenna, Roger.
Okay. Romeo India Mike with a Shure 444D, and I'm watching it on a SM220 monitor scope. Over.
Roger. Now, question of the hour. Are you running your compressor at a 3?
Running your compressor at a 3?
Negative. I have no compression on at all. Over.
Yes, sir. Part of our setup involves getting that compressor in there to token them out, like a 3. It's something that you'll never hear. Nobody will ever hear it, but it sets up the audio for a reduction that we're looking for is about a 3 dB dynamic range at the end, which would mean that your average percent of peak modulation would be somewhere around 80 to 85%. So a generic tune-up starts with the compressor engaged at a 3.
Compressor engaged at a 3.
Okay, I have a 3 on right now. I'm watching the idiot light. I don't have no meter. I just have a red LED for ALC. So does that make a difference? Over.
Yes, sir. You're now at 3 dB. You don't have a ALC meter?
You don't have an ALC meter?
No, I just have a little ALC light that pops on voice peaks.
Roger. Well, it's looking good to me. I would leave it just like it is. Like I say, your dynamic range is about 3 dB. From, the basic generic transmitter starts with a 10 dB dynamic range, 30% average peak modulation without processing. And then what we do is add enough processing to take that 10 dB dynamic range down to a 3 dB dynamic range, move the 30% average peak modulation up to about 80 to 85%, Roger.
About 80 to 85%, Roger.
Well, I'll lock it down where it's at. I can't do much more with it. My mic gain's at 45, so the light is just flickering on every now and then. It's not on constantly, so I must be driving it okay. Over.
Yes, sir. Looking good. Looking good. I would, again, get the Gorilla Tape and taper down. And I'll say 73 to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by, Roger.
73 to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by, Roger.
Okay, 73s, and thanks for the help. You're a great help on the radio here. Next week, I'll have a different radio on the air, and we'll go from there. KC9VKV from WB8RIM.
That's WB8RIM, Roger.
So WB8RIM, Roger.
Roger.
Thank you, sir. 373, and have a good afternoon. This is KC9VKV. We're running it towards 5 o'clock, at which time we turn into a pumpkin. So if you have a radio you want to check out, we got time for one more.
Check out, we got time for one more.
November 3. Come back again slowly with the call sign.
Again slowly with the call sign.
November Zulu 3 Romeo.
November 3. November Zulu 3 Romeo. Is that a Roger?
November Zulu 3 Romeo. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger. November Zulu 3 Romeo. QSO.
Roger. Well, it is our day for distortion, sir. Your signal is pretty well distorted. What radio are you running?
Distorted? What radio are you running?
I am running a TS590SG Kenwood. Roger.
Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, what's the name there?
My name is Walter. I am in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Roger.
All right, Walter, do you happen to have another microphone handy that would fit that radio? Just real quick to see if the mic might be the problem.
The mic might be the problem.
I do not have another mic handy. I know you said you're running tight. Does it sound like it's overmawed, distorted, or what?
It's distorted. Let me ask you, if you're running power, dump the power and let me hear you barefoot.
Power, dump the power and let me hear you barefoot.
No, sir. I'm running, I have no power, running barefoot, Roger.
All right, take your mic gain. Where is your mic gain at the moment?
Where is your
your mic gain at the moment?
Right now my mic gain is at 50%, Roger.
All right, take it to 25. Take it to 25 and let me hear you. Take it to 25 and let me hear you.
Mic gain at 25, Roger.
Same distortion. Not real sure what's going on there, sir. I would advise that you maybe change mics and try it again, maybe next Friday, or find somebody that has a decent signal to you, and try both mics and see if the one that you're currently running is in trouble. Roger. Roger.
Sounds like RF. Okay, my friend.
Yeah, but he's barefoot.
Yeah, but he better come back. Enjoy the weekend coming up.
Yes, sir. Walter, it does sound like RF in your audio. That's why I asked if you were running power, because usually that happens at higher wattages where you have RF leakage that gets back into your audio. Let's do an experiment if you've got just a moment, and try to get as far away from your radio as the mic will let you go to the left of your radio. Just try to stretch that mic cord out there, and you try to get away from the radio, and let's see what happens to your audio.
November Zulu 3 Romeo.
Ah, sounds a little better, sir. Give me where you are, exactly where you are. Give me 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system.
Hello, check 1 2. Hello, check 1 2 3. Hello, check 1 2 3. Hello, check 1 2 3.
Was that Walter? Was that you?
Yes, sir. That was, sir.
Sounded much better, much better. So just out of curiosity, go back to where you were and let me hear you.
Okay. I moved the boom closer to the 590. Testing 1 2 3.
Sounds all right. Now I've lost my my Milford SDR, which I was copying the mail on. I'm so tired of that. It's just a real pain in the whatever. About every 20 seconds that sucker kicks off, and I got to try to bring it back to life. I think I've got it now. Let me hear you, Walter, and let me see if you're back on Milford.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Yes, sir. You are clean as a tack now. So there is something strange going on with your, I guess it's your mic cord or something, losing your ground perhaps, or something, getting RF back into it. But you are clean now. So I would investigate that mic cable, Roger.
Mic cable, Roger. Roger. Thank you very much, sir. I know you're running past your. You said your bedtime. Thank you for the comeback.
Now that last transmission was distorted. Move back to where you were when we said it was clean, and let me hear you again.
It was clean, and let me hear you again. Okay. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Roger.
Roger, clean as a tack right there. You might just move your operation or your microphone down there and work it from that place, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, copy that. Well, I moved the boom away from the 590 there. I'm probably about a foot away there, Roger.
All right, Roger. Now, what you might want to do or try is to ground your boom. Make sure that your boom is grounded, or try grounding your boom to see if you can further reduce your RF contamination, Roger.
RF contamination, Roger. Yes, sir. I can do that. I have a grounding ball about a foot and a half away. Yeah. I appreciate your help there, sir.
Yes, sir. And again, your call is in Zebra 3 Roger. Is that correct?
Roger. Is that correct? November Zulu 3 Romeo. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thanks for dropping by. And again, ground that boom, and I think you'll be in good shape. If not, double check your mic cable that you're having good ground situations. So it did sound great when you moved to that other position. So we'll say 73 for now. Walter, and you have a good afternoon. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 10/30/20, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Recording. Roger? Yes, sir. Roger. I appreciate your help there, my friend, and yeah, that's one thing. The boom is not grounded. So yes, sir, I'm going to try that out. I appreciate your time there. November Zulu 3 Romeo. Yeah, I'll be clear with you, sir.
Roger, and I've also found that, you go to a great deal of effort if you string the mic cable through the boom. Like they ideally perfectionly, one would put the mic cable through the boom. I don't do that. I just use tie wraps and tie wrap it to the boom. It makes it a lot simpler if you have to do something, change it, rather than have to rethread it and all that stuff. Roger.
Rethread it and all that stuff. Roger. Yeah, QSO. Yeah, QSO. Well, thank you very much, sir, and thank you for your time. I'm gonna do a little grounding over here, and I hope that clears up the problem there. QSL.
Roger, and you can dead key. A lot of times that will reveal any kind of noise. If you do have any kind of monitor system, the thing is, in the transmit mode, if you just reach up and touch your microphone and listen for the noise very carefully, if it sounds a little clunky as opposed to just very soft touches, then that's another indication of RF in the AF. So we'll say 3 is for now, Walter, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and join us next Friday if you can. So that will conclude transmissions on the KC9VKV QSO-VLOG for this afternoon. If, again, you participated and want to hear what your audio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 10/30/20, that will take you directly to this recording. And that will conclude our transmissions for today, and we will be returning this frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.
KC9VKV clear.
KC9VKV WA8OPR WA8OPR.
OPR, go ahead.
OPR, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say hello to you. You've helped me out in the past. Appreciate it. QTH Detroit, Michigan, and the handle is Terry. Beautiful copy here in Detroit. 40/S9, and I forgot to call the handle. KC9VKV, over.
Roger, Terry. This is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and appreciate the kudos on the transmission. You likewise look to be about 20 to 25 over on my on the Milford SDR antenna.
Oh, the multiple signal points which you can receive. Very, very good, Jim. I know you're concluding your operations there, but I just wanted to say hello to you. We are running one of our little tiny backup rigs. Let's do that. Hello? Two. Huh.
Check. 1, 2, check. Hello?
Just a minute, Jim. Just a minute. Okay, there we go. Running a little Icon 706 Mark II G. Homebrew brick amplifier, about 400 watts, 270 foot inside wire. Hope the signal's okay there. It's just a little setup there. KC9VKV, over.
Roger, Terry. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically again, please.
Okay, it's Whiskey America 8, Ontario Pacific Rome, W88 OPR, over.
Roger, Terry. Good sound. Get that foam windscreen.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Jim. Repeat.
Get yourself a foam windscreen for that mic. It would really solve the last of the Mohegans as far as any establishing perfection in audio.
Well, I'm sure it's not. It's a hand mic, and I'm not even sure how I got this set up. I probably got too much audio drive anyway.
Oh, no, it sounds beautiful. Okay, so just take that mic and pull it to the side of your mouth and work across it. Pull it to the side of your mouth and just work across it, Roger.
Yeah, okay, I'm working across it now. I bet you I've got too much audio gain on this. But, there we go. That should be it. Fine business, Jim. Appreciate you letting me bump in here for just a moment. And you're still 40 over 9. Tremendous copy, over.
Thank you, Terry. Likewise, and I'm on my local antenna now, so you're about 25 over, so good propagation. So let me say 3s to you, sir. Thanks for checking in, Roger.
Roger, Jim. Have a good week. We'll look for you next Friday. 7-3, sir.
Roger, 73. This is KC9VKV. And we return this frequency again to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV is clear.
Nice signal into Waynesville, North Carolina, Jim. Hello? I was waiting to get in there, but maybe we can catch you next Friday. 7-3, KO4CH.
CH in North Carolina, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Kilowatt, Oscar 4, Charlie Hotel. Don't want to hold you, Jim. We don't want to wear you out. I said I've been trying to get in or waiting on to get in here, but we'll wait. I'll maybe catch you next Friday. I know how it is when you've got to get going there. Beautiful signal down here in the Waynesville. Name is Jerry. Go ahead.
Roger, Jerry. Just looking at your signal, it does seem to be about 3 dB, which means your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%. So just beautiful. I would come up one click more on your top end EQ.
Roger. Just running a little 891 here, the Yaesu FT891, and it's a complicated EQ system they got. I was monitoring myself on my ICOM, and we'll do that on the highs there, bring the highs up a little bit. Thank you. Using a Heil headset here, by the way, a single earpiece. It's got the HC6 cartridge in it.
Roger. Okay, I would take that boom mic and straighten it as far out as I could make it, just as far in front of me as I could, and at the very last second, I would do that 90 degree. But I would take it out as far as I could get it in front of me, and then at the very last second, 90 degrees on it, Roger.
Roger, I just did that while you were talking. Is that better?
Yes, sir. I think that going to cut down on some of the plosives for sure, Roger.
Roger. I don't want to take up your time, Jim. You've been very helpful with a lot of the guys here, and it's a good thing you're doing. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Terry. Appreciate that. And 373 is to you, sir. 73, and you have a great afternoon, Roger.
You too. 7-3. KO4CH, Claire.
W4RYR.
RYR, KC9VKV.
Yeah, I have a comment or two. I fought audio problems for the last 2 weeks, and I've discovered several things and remedies for them.
Give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
W4 Romeo, Yankee Romeo. Bob, I'm in Lebanon, Tennessee. I'm barefoot.
Roger, Bob in Tennessee. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's a 991. And I was told I was on a Tennessee net that I was muffled. I discovered number one, I had the mic gain way too high. Turned it back to, instead of the factory default, turned it back to several suggestions on the internet. That got it better, but it didn't solve the problem. I found a sub-menu on the 991 that had bandwidth for the internal for the radio was scrunching it up. It wasn't full-bodied flat audio. Had to go in there and change that. And then after I got that solved, I changed to a different mic altogether. It's not a hand mic. It is a hand mic, but it's not the one that came with the radio. It's a howl mic, and I'll leave it at that. Took the equalization off and ran it flat. Over.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, all that's good. Now, I ask you, what is your bandpass? Are you 100 to 2900? That's what you want to be. Bandpass 100 to 2900. Hello, Bob. Are you still there? Bob, not sure what happened, buddy, but I'm not copying you at all now. Hello, KC9VKV. W4, RYR, do you copy?
Yeah, he's in there.
RYR, try again. I'll try Milford.
RYR, try again. I'll try Milford.
Okay, I'm still here.
Okay, copying you now. What I was going to ask you is you check your bandpass to be sure that radio is running 100 to 2900, Roger?
100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, that is correct, over.
All right, I understand you are running 100 to 2900. So what I would do is, what kind of EQ does that radio have?
Oh, it's got all sorts of stuff in there you could change, but I took that out. I'm running it flat, no equalization.
Yes, I notice I'm trying to get you to maybe do a little setup a little bit better on your equalization. If you find your equalization, you need some more top end. Now, the thing is that you want to be sure that your mid-range, if you have a 3-band EQ, you want to be sure that your mid-range EQ is flat. You want to be sure that your mid-range is flat, because that EQ is set up for bringing the top end to balance with the mid-range and the bottom end to balance with the mid-range. And if you push the mid-range, it's so much harder for the top end and the bottom end to catch up. So you want to be sure that your mid-range is flat. Roger?
Mid-range is flat. Roger?
Affirmative. I can turn up equalization right now. That's a little more equalization on it, over.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check.
Check station, standby, please. So, Bob, can you see your equalization controls?
Equalization controls?
Well, it's a submenu.
All right, so after you get to the submenu, can you see your equalization controls?
You see your equalization controls.
I missed that last statement. Say it again, please.
Yes, sir. In your submenu, can you see your individual equalization controls?
Equalization controls.
Yeah, I have mic equalization in now. It really ought to make it way too much, over.
I'd say, Bob, you're pretty weak right now, and I'm a long time into being a pumpkin, so I'm going to have to say 73 for now. Maybe we can tackle this next Friday if we start at 3:30. So maybe if we have good conditions, you can jump in there around 3:45 or so and see if we can work on it some more. Roger, Roger.
Work on it some more. Roger, Roger.
Roger. I appreciate it. And y'all have a good day. This is W4RYR 11 and 26.
Roger, Roger, RYR3 73 to you, sir. And this is KC9VKV, and we are concluding again our network QSO-VLOG for this Friday afternoon and returning the frequency to normal amateur use. This is KC9VKV, clear. Bye-bye.